Imagine sitting in a room full of the most powerful people in the world. Imagine the President of the United States standing at a podium speaking to leaders from many different countries. Then suddenly, he stops. He stops his speech and looks into the crowd. He starts looking for one specific person. That person is from Nigeria. This is exactly what happened today, February 5th, 2026, in the city of Washington, D.C. It was a moment that many people did not expect, and it is a moment that is now being talked about across the globe. The man at the podium was President Donald Trump. He was speaking at the 74th National Prayer Breakfast. This is a very big event that happens every year. It brings together presidents, lawmakers, and religious leaders to talk about faith and leadership. But today, the focus shifted for a moment to our very own First Lady, Senator Remi Tinubu. If you are watching this on your phone right now, you might be wondering why this small moment is such a big deal. Why did the American president take time out of his busy schedule to mention her? As President Trump was speaking, he paused and said something that made everyone lean in. He said, "We are honored to be joined today by the First Lady of Nigeria." He didn't just stop there. He went on to describe her in a way that showed he had been learning about her life back home. He called her a very respected woman. He even mentioned her work as a Christian pastor in one of the largest churches in Nigeria. This was not just a polite greeting. It felt like a deep sign of respect. Have you ever wondered how the rest of the world sees us? Sometimes we only hear the bad news about Nigeria. We hear about the struggles and the hard times. But in that room today, the story was different. For a few minutes, the story was about a Nigerian woman of faith who has reached the highest levels of leadership. President Trump even looked around the room and asked, "First Lady, where are you?" He wanted to see her. He wanted the whole world to see her standing there. When he finally spotted her, he thanked her and said it was a great honor to have her with them. Think about that for a second. The leader of the United States was telling a Nigerian woman that he was the one who felt honored. This is a powerful thing for us to reflect on. It reminds us that our leaders represent us whenever they travel abroad. When she stood up and acknowledged the applause, she was carrying the name of Nigeria with her. If you find this story as meaningful as I do, please take a moment to hit the like button and subscribe to this channel. It helps us bring you more stories that show Nigeria in a positive light on the world stage. We want to keep sharing these moments that make us pause and think about our place in the world. Now, you might be asking yourself why this particular meeting is so important right now. You see, the relationship between Nigeria and the United States has been a bit difficult lately. Just a few months ago, there were many disagreements. The American government had raised some concerns about how people of faith are treated in Nigeria. There was tension in the air. People were worried that the two countries were moving apart. Some even feared that the United States might stop helping Nigeria in certain ways because of these disagreements. But today, something felt different. By calling out Senator Remi Tinubu and highlighting her role as a pastor, President Trump seemed to be sending a message. He wasn't talking about politics or oil or money. He was talking about faith. He mentioned that she is an ordained pastor in the Redeemed Christian Church of God. For many of us, that is a church we know very well. It is a church that has millions of members. By mentioning this, Trump was acknowledging a part of Nigerian life that is very dear to many people. Do you think this moment could be the start of a better relationship between our two countries? It is interesting to see how a simple word of respect can change the mood of a whole room. When the President of the United States calls a Nigerian leader very respected, it sends a signal to other world leaders. It tells them that Nigeria is a country that matters. It tells them that our leaders are people who deserve a seat at the table. This recognition is also important because of who Senator Remi Tinubu is. She is not just the wife of the president. She was a senator for many years. She has been a teacher, and as we heard today, she is a woman of God. When she sits in those big rooms in Washington, she is representing the mothers, the sisters, and the women of Nigeria. She is showing the world that a Nigerian woman can be a leader in the church and a leader in the government at the same time. It is easy to get caught up in our daily struggles at home. We worry about the price of food, the safety of our streets, and the future of our children. But moments like this remind us that we are part of a much bigger world. They remind us that what happens in Abuja matters in Washington, and what is said in Washington can affect the pride we feel in our own country. If this story makes you feel proud of our heritage, please share this video with your friends and family. Let them know that even in faraway places, the name of Nigeria is being spoken with respect. And don't forget to subscribe so you can stay updated on how this story develops in the coming days. As we look at the video of the event, you can see the First Lady smiling as the crowd claps for her. It was a calm and dignified moment. There was no shouting, no fighting, and no long political speeches. It was just a simple acknowledgement of a person's worth. Sometimes that is all it takes to start healing a relationship between two nations. President Trump's words, "Thank you very much, it is a great honor," might seem small, but in the world of international relations, they carry a lot of weight. They remind us that despite our differences, there is a common ground in faith and respect. The National Prayer Breakfast is meant to be a place where people forget their political parties for a moment and remember their shared humanity. Today, Senator Remi Tinubu was at the center of that message. She stood there as a representative of our faith and our resilience. As you go about your day, I want you to think about this. Respect is something that is earned over a long time, but it can be shown in a single moment. Today, the world saw a moment of respect for a Nigerian leader. What does this tell you about how far we have come as a nation? And more importantly, where do you think this path will lead us? We should keep watching to see if this warmth continues. Will the United States and Nigeria work more closely together now? Only time will tell. But for today, we can take a deep breath and appreciate that our First Lady stood tall in Washington and the world took notice. Thank you for spending this time with me. Let us keep hoping and praying for the best for our country.